It's time for another Dice Tower review with the Board Game Knights.
Sire, I have pressing matters.
Ooh, tell me more.
We need to bolster the city guard and repel drow invaders.
Oh, that's very terrible, I hear.
Indeed, fend off bandits, quell riots, and pressing matters.
Very pressing. Is there anything else that you have to tell me?
Lure the artisans of Mirabar.
Ooh, I heard they're excellent artisans.
Yes, however, my lord, if we do not quell the riots and fend off the bandits, our families will be lost.
Well, let's see what we've got here. We've got 2 warriors,
Our kingdom will perish, sir.
2 wizards, and 2 rogues. Yes, we'll definitely use these to take the artisans of Mirabar.
But, sire, you will lose your position, I will lose my position. The kingdom will be lost, our families will be lost, everything will be lost.
But this gives me more victory points.
Victory points, schmictory points. We will lose our kingdom, the entirety.
Hi, welcome to the Board Game Knights. I'm Jessica James.
I'm Eos James.
And I'm Christoph Schrader.
And tonight we'll be doing a review on Lords of Waterdeep.
It's a worker placement game for 2 to 5 players.
It was published in 2012 by Wizards of the Coast, and it is a Dungeons & Dragons themed board game. At the beginning of the game, you get dealt a Lord of Waterdeep. These guys give you extra bonuses depending on who you've been dealt with.
At the start of each player's turn, they'll use their coloured meeple to choose a location around the town of Waterdeep and gain the appropriate currency or resource cubes to then complete quests.
When players gain the correct resources or currency, they can use them to complete specific quests and gain mainly victory points.
You can also gain intrigue cards, which allow you to hurt other players or help yourself, or both.
You can also choose to get extra quest cards during your turn, or start making other buildings. These buildings become extra locations on the board, which other players will have to pay to use.
So once a player has placed all of their agents out onto the board is then cleared and refreshed for the next round, and we continue on for the next 8 rounds.
Alright, for this game, we all played it individually away from each other, which is a bit different. But what did you guys think?
Well, first of all, the art in this game is really nice. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, and each of the cards, they've all got individual pictures that are
And
really
flavor
nicely
text
done.
too.
Yeah, the flavor text is quite nice, yeah.
Indeed.
Yep, the game inside also is extremely well done. All the pieces have got their little areas and spots. There's a spot for everything, and you can push them down and grab them.
The components in general are very nice. However, the game originally comes with the little cubes for the meeples, and that just does not work with the theme.
Yeah.
What you can do...
Is the newer versions do have like little tiny wizard people.
Yeah, they look like little people running around with
I
their little
know.
staffs and all that.
Yeah, so
Yeah, a little
cute.
bit more
Yeah.
suitable.
Yeah.
But in short, the art is gorgeous. It's beautiful.
It's one of the
to look
nicest
at.
artworks I've
Yeah.
seen. for a
Quality
board game.
components.
Yeah.
But
That's about where it stops short, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's about all we can say.
Playing the game, the feel of it, I'm waiting for the 8th round.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
I'm going to be completely honest. When the first time
Yeah.
I played this, it was a 2-player game between Sam and I, and about 4 rounds in, I was feeling like, where's the game? When is the game going to start? And when I realised that was a situation I wanted it to end, we actually wrapped it up early. I just couldn't play it anymore. I wasn't having fun.
No, I think
wanted
the game-
to go home.
The game definitely received a lot of hype and a lot of attention, and I can see that certain things about the game are great. But yeah, I felt the same way in a way.
Yeah.
Most of the moves seem like you're just going to take the best move and go,
Yeah,
well, that one
and
makes sense. I need
even-
that to do that.
And even when, like, usually in worker placement games, you get that sort of, hope he doesn't take that spot, hope he doesn't take that spot,
like-
and then it's like, oh yeah, whatever, he took that one.
There's
it's fine.
there's pretty much always a good option on here.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with your quests, they're so inconsequential.
Yeah.
Like, for me, the biggest thing, I like theme in a game.
Yeah.
This game it looks like a wonderful theme, but the theme has to connect with the gameplay. And for me, it's like, oh, I got a white, 3 black,
Yeah.
and a purple cube, and a bunch of coin, and that gives me a bunch of points.
These lords, while they sound excellent, it's just sort of like, well, there's not really any difference. The only real bonuses that you get is if you get the different types of quests. And that just makes sure that everyone chooses different quests.
It's a missed opportunity, and actually, you say different quests, but they're almost all the same.
I know.
You look at it, like there's, Arcana and Commerce,
Yep.
Warfare and Commerce,
Yeah.
Commerce and Piety.
But they're all divided
Piety and
evenly
warfare.
between them all. Yeah, it's not like one of them gets, 8 points for choosing just the one quest and things
Because
like
it's
that.
supposed to be that each player's
Yeah.
got that secret agenda, but they're all very similar.
Yeah.
And the second you see someone play a quest, you're almost going to guess immediately what they got.
Yeah, so in a way it limits your choices more than anything else, because it says, well, if you don't take this line of action, you'll actually be detrimental to you winning the game.
Indeed. And that other thing too, where you actually give people additional quests that are mandatory that they have to finish first. first before they do their own stuff. It's supposed to get in your way, but it's more so like you're hoarding all these cubes all the time, and then they gave me a quest that I have to spend 2 orange cubes to finish.
And
I get 2 points.
That's the other thing. It's sort of like when you're getting the things, is the theme in it. It's like I'm getting 2 white cubes. These aren't perps. These are white.
Exactly.
Cubes.
That tile theme in the meeples is kind of weak.
Yeah.
And of course, then the argument for that is like, you got to play with these little nice
I
meeples that
know.
look like people.
I
It'll be
know.
great. It'll be great then.
It's just an orange dude.
But no, I felt like I was filling out a shopping list. Like, I
Yeah.
need these cubes and these cubes. I'm just going to sit here and wait for my turn. I'm going to grab another orange cube.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
need
agree.
another orange
Yeah.
cube.
It didn't seem thematic. It wasn't like, I totally need some rogues and some warriors. It
Yeah,
was like,
like-
no, I need a
For a
bit of
Dungeons
orange.
and
Yeah.
Dragons game,
It'll
it's
like-
not a Dungeons and
Maybe
Dragons.
if you're just, instead of filling out shopping lists, if you were attacking people, maybe but even so,
Being worker placement,
Yeah.
you are trying to fulfill the requirements for certain things that give you points, but just okay, it's a game. A game is
Yep.
supposed to be fun. Okay. I did not find this fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I was not having fun playing this.
and
I was-
there's a way to win. If you get the lieutenant early, you win. The end. That's
Yeah.
the extra worker.
Alright.
Yeah.
Going back to one thing, the one thing I thought that was actually good were the buildings. Because you can make a building, it's another
That's
location
very
that people can
true.
go to, increasing the options,
Yeah.
and then people will want to use them. They're all generally good, and people will have to pay you to use them. That's
Yeah.
good.
So
I
they
really
get
like that
something
bit.
and they pay you as well. You also get something.
Yeah, that's great.
But it's like, I feel like this is the only strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
But it still doesn't feel. Yeah.
And then even so, then like while everyone else is going for those other buildings and spending to use them, you can just take all the other stuff that you normally would have taken.
I mean, if you're a massive fan of D&D and the D&D universe, I can totally understand why you get this and have a cup of tea while you just don't want to really think about it.
It's sort of like D&D for non-D&D players.
Yeah.
I mean, if you are a D&D player, I'm not a D&D player, but D&D is all about that role-playing and deep world going on, and this doesn't have any of that, unless you are sort of, projecting onto it.
Yeah.
Like, you're reading the cards and going, this is what's happening, I'm doing this and that, yay, big stuff.
There's flavor text everywhere, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Which is
realistically,
great,
it's more of a Euro game. So the flavor text is just like, what do I need and what do I get? Done. I gotta go there, I
you
gotta go
filled your
there.
shopping list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
get that. I get the money
icons,
points.
yeah.
And you get, I get 25 points, or I get 10 points, or I get 15 points, or I
Yeah.
get 10 points.
Oh, this one here gives me a special
I
ability.
have a mandatory quest.
Oh, yay, it's a couple
Yeah.
cubes, I'm done, I'll move on, thank
Yeah.
you. And it gives you points anyway.
Yeah.
So,
I found them just more annoying than any real strategy.
one thing I've noticed with the good worker placement games that we've played is that the scoring, as you see it go around the edge of the board, is relatively tight. Things are, you're watching it go and you're like, who's going to win? What's going to happen? Especially those end game points that you score.
Yeah.
Like these should be the Lords of Waterdeep that you have at the start, your secret identity. They should be game changing at the end and making it tense. It never felt tense at all. It was just
We all sort of knew
Bland.
that we're all gonna where we were.
like it was never fun
Yeah.
for me. It was just bland and boring. Yeah.
One other positive would be it's quite accessible though.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
family
like-
games and
like-
that.
Very
because
easy.
it gives
This
the
got-
illusion that it's quite in depth and
Like this
and
got
all
played
that,
at
yeah.
tabletop day for us.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
people enjoyed it, newcomers enjoyed
That's
it.
true.
Great. Gets
If you
them into
were
playing.
new and you wanted something that was Euro without too much thinking or aggressiveness, then yeah.
I mean, to wrap your head around the idea of a worker placement game, this
Yeah.
is perfect. But I don't know. I'd rather play something else.
Yeah, it's not awful.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just meh. It's there. It does its job, and then it's done.
Yeah, I think that for me the hype of it just sort of wrecked it a little bit. I was all hyped up and I'm like, yeah, I really want it. Then I played a friend's copy and I was a little disappointed. But I have played it quite a few more times since then, probably 4 or 5, and the rating for it sort of increases. Every time I've played it, I seem to have fairly easily done well at it. It wasn't like it was elusive and going, lots going on there, I don't know how to do it.
Is there anything else we can say about it
I
before
don't
we
know.
completely
I
bury
think
it?
yeah, unfortunately it's just gonna go on the bottom of the shelf. Yeah.
Little bit of fun for new players and people who are obsessed with the D&D theme, but other than that, pretty dry.
Yep, the opponents are great and the buildings are cool.
Thank you, Sam. Alright everyone, so for this one here, I think I'm probably just gonna give it a standard 5 for average.
5? Yeah, it's smack bang in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Lords of Waterdeep a 4. It's a resounding meh in my books. It's not going to be a below a 4 because it actually does its job well. It sets out and does it all right, but it's just meh. It's not something I'm going to want to play.
Yeah, it is. It's a little walk in the park. Like it's pretty simple and straightforward. More like an event than a deep strategic game. But for me, it's probably about a 6.
We hope you enjoyed our review of Lords of Waterdeep.
We'll see you next time here at the Board Game Nights.
I'm off to bring positive tidings to our side.
Sire,
Yes.
I bring bad tidings
What news?
from the artisans of Mirba, whom you have lured here. They have defamed the kingdom.
What? This is a travesty. We must send some men at once. Let me see.
Aha!
All of these men must go.
25 victory points! Insta win!
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.